Moin Moin and welcome to Ralph's Foto-Booth. Here in the last year Olympus renewed his pen series, the light series with the EPL5 and the mini series with the EPM2. So there's only one old model, that's the EP3, and guess this year it's time for the new EP5. Here it is, this is the new Olympus PEN E-P5. So it's a completely remodeled camera. 50 years ago the PEN F was on the market. That's an old analog camera with a really nice design, and the new EP5 is a little bit like the old PEN F. So it has a clear form, and it's very nice. It's very nice in the form and in the things they built out, like the dials. They have two dials, one on the back side, one on the front side. One is directly under the shutter release button. And the designers of the Olympus PEN look very careful for the small things. They have only on the bottom of the camera they have only screws, so the whole camera is without on the top and on the front without any screws. So it's a very nice design model, and it's a little bit has a retro look, a little bit old-fashioned look, but inside it's a very modern camera, and it's completely updated from the EP3. So inside of the camera it's the same sensor like in the OMD, so it's the picture quality should be on the same level or eventually a little bit better level, because maybe they tuned the software and the software engine a little bit. At this moment I don't know, because it's a pre-series model. It's not the final firmware on the camera, so the picture quality, I cannot check the picture quality because it's not final. But the camera complete in the design and in the outlook, this is absolutely final. So you see the bottoms on top are final. They have the built-in flash which pops out like this. It's very nice, because the synchronization time is a 1/320th of a second, so it's a little bit shorter than the old one. Here on the back side we have the four-way button with a dial. We have the buttons for the menu, info button, the magnification button, the button for the for starting the video, and we have the large screen. And the screen is very carefully built in the camera body. You see it's only a little edge here at the side of the camera, so you can't see at the first look that it is a turnable screen, but it is. So it turns out like this and like this. Yeah, that's very nice. And for sure, like all the Olympus cameras, it's a touch screen with a touch focus, so it works very fast. And Olympus says is a little bit faster than the OMD, what means in the autofocus time is a little bit faster. I will compare it when the firmware is final and I have the final EP5. Yeah, one thing you see, that's the sign, the Wi-Fi sign, and the EP5 has a built-in Wi-Fi adapter. So if you press the Wi-Fi button here on the screen, it's a little bit difficult to hit. Here we are. You can make a connection to a smartphone or a tablet computer. It says private connection, and if you say OK, the camera start the Wi-Fi connection, and to connect the smart device, they make a QR code. You see, there's the, oops, sorry, just back again, press the wrong button. and you have the Olympus app, and with the Olympus app on the smartphone, you just turn the camera around, it's a little bit easier. So and if you have the Olympus app on the smartphone, you just read the QR code. You don't have to press anything, any codes or anything else in the smartphone. Just scan the QR code, and the smart device and the camera will connect by reading this QR code. I cannot show you this by now because Olympus had an update for the iPhone or the iPad app. It's still the old version, and the old version doesn't read the QR code. But if I have the final, I will show you in my review, in my complete review of the EP5. I will show you how this works. I think that's a really smart thing to connect the camera with a smartphone or a tablet computer. Panasonic did this with the near field chip, with the NFC chip, but the problem is only a few smartphones and few tablets computers have this NFC chip. So it's only for a few people which can use this NFC connection, but the QR connection is for everyone who uses the Olympus app on his smartphone. And the Olympus app is for the iOS world, so for Apple, and it's for the Android world. So when they bring out the camera in June, they will update both of the apps so that you can use it with the QR code. Olympus says you can not only transfer the pictures from the camera to the smartphone, but you can also remote control the EP5 with your smartphone. So you can just make a picture from the smartphone, you have the live view on the smartphone, and you can make different settings. Which settings you can make, I will show you on my complete review when I have the final of the EP5 and the new app for the iOS system. So what's new? Also new on the EP5. Except for the Wi-Fi, we have they changed the lowest ISO setting. So if you go to the ISO setting, you will see we have not only the 200 ISO, but you also have the low, that's the 100 ISO setting, and it goes up again to 25,600. You see here we are 25,600. And another thing is the shortest shutter time. The shortest shutter time is, you turn the dial here on the back side of the camera, you see the shutter times goes up and up and up and up, and the shortest shutter time is one of 8,000 seconds. So that's a real short shutter time. The good thing, you have a short shutter time and you have the low ISO. So even in the bright sunlight, you can use a large aperture like 2.0, 2.8 for a small depth of field. So that's really nice. You don't have to use an ND filter. You can use a really short shutter time and the low ISO setting for working with a low depth of field. I think that's really nice because you have the really good lenses from Olympus with a fixed focal lens, and they're really good. They have they make really good pictures and have a real high optical resolution. So I think it's a good combination to have this. Here the menus. Let's have a look at the menus. Or just to show you, you have also, like in the EP5, you have the different settings of the quick menu or the super menu, like some people say. And let's go again back to the super menu. You have the touch screen, so you can work with the touch screen to change the settings. But also, if you turn the back dial, you go to the different points of the menu, and if you turn the front dial, like if you go to the focus, you just turn here, you see the front dial, and if you go to the front dial you have the different settings of the autofocus or the manual focus. Let's talk about the manual focus. One new thing at the manual focus is we have the focus peaking. So if you turn the manual focus ring on the lens, the camera directly goes in the magnification if you have the settings in the menu done like this. So if you want to have this, that it goes directly. And you see, if I turn the focus ring, you have the different peaking functions. You can set it to black also if you want. And if you turn the back dial here during the manual focusing, you can change the magnification. You see, going down to 5 or up to 14. So you see, here we are, here we have the focus peaking. If the picture is sharp, you see there's the peaking. Here we are. Yeah, so that's a really nice function. I like the focus peaking very much because it's very easy to change the focus during the manual focus thing. Another thing I can show you is the if you go to the single autofocus like this, you have the autofocus field. If you press the OK button, sorry, if you press the if you press these, here we have the autofocus field. You can change the autofocus field like this. Here we go to the different point at the autofocus field. And one thing, just go back to the normal mode, single autofocus. So if you have the autofocus field by pressing the magnification, you can change the size just by pressing the info button and then turn the dial, and you see we have the different sizes. Press the info button again and you can move the autofocus field on a place wherever you want. So, and here we are, that's the autofocus field, and if you press the button, the autofocus just goes to the point where the autofocus field is. So that's a very nice function for the autofocus field, to get it very small. If you work at the macro mode, you can make the field very small and set it on a real small place, like in a flower or anything else. Yeah, on the top we have still the different functions with scene mode and art filter, e-auto, and one new thing, we have these it's like a fun function. You can combine different photos to a single frame. It's these fun frames. You have different options like building 3 pictures in one, or if you like this fun frame, you can use things like this, or like a film stripe or something else. It's a nice fun function to make. You see the camera 1 shot, 2 shot, and 3 shot. So you have 3 pictures in one, and the camera makes it combine it to one picture. So let's see what we have else. Yes, one thing we have, let's go to the menu. The menu is like in the EPL5 or EPM2 or OMD, so there's no big difference. You have the card setup, reset, you have the resolution, image aspect, and the digital converter. Then you have the different settings for the serial mode, high or low speed, self-timer 12 seconds, 2 seconds, or you can customize the self-timer 1 frame after 2 seconds and interval of 0.5 second, or you can say 2 seconds interval, and let's make like 5 or 6 pictures. So that's a nice function for the self-timer shooting. Then you have the image stabilizer. Sorry. One new thing, we have the 5-axis image stabilizer, and on the OMD if you make a movie and turn the camera like this, you have to change the image stabilizer mode, so that the camera only stabilizes in this direction and this direction, but not in this, because you want to make a smooth turn of the camera where the stabilizer don't have to work in this direction. With the EP5 you don't have to change it. The camera recognizes by herself that you make a turn, and so the stabilizer works only in the other directions. Yeah, you have the bracketing, multi-exposure, and new is the time-lapse setting, and in the time-lapse setting you can make up to 99 frames after a starting time, interval time, and you can start it to make a movie. So the camera makes combines the single pictures to a time-lapse movie. So you can take pictures of flowers where the blooms go up or something like this, or the sun goes up in the morning, and it can make a nice time-lapse movie. So, and then we have the playback menu. There's nothing new. Connection to the smartphone, as I said, I cannot show you by now, but here's the connection over to the smartphone. And if I go to the menu of the connection, you see where in the point we have been before, where you have where you get the QR code to connect both. So let's go to the custom menu. And the custom menu, like the OMD and EPL5, it's a very, very large menu. You have lots of points you can change. You have the bulb time, and you have the live bulb, focus ring, manual focus assistant. As I said, you have a magnifying function and the peaking function. I have both on. I showed you before how this will work, how this works. EF illumination, you have the different button function, dial directions you can change. Then you have you can make the settings for the frames per second low and high. You can say if you want to have the image stabilization off when you make the high frame per second shootings. Then you have the HDMI output. You have the control settings. I showed you before. You have the live control and live SCP for the different program modes. Sorry, just go back again. The info setting, display grid, picture mode setting, histogram settings you can change, mode guide, live view, art live view mode, flicker reduction, peaking settings. What I said, you can change between white and black for the peaking function, the manual focusing mode, backlit, sleep, auto power off, you can change USB mode, and then you have the noise reduction and noise filter, the ISO setting, as I said before, up to 25,600 and down to 100. You have the ISO steps. You can set the auto ISO setting, so you can set up the high limit and the default setting. Just go back to the menu button. You have the metering, bulb time, and you have the live bulb, as I said before. X synchronization for the internal flash. The synchronization time is a 1/320, as I said before. Yeah, and then you have the pixel count, shading compensation, white balance. You have the different settings for the white balance. You can do it very, very to a very down level for the Kelvin value. So that's a really, really good white balance function. You have in the EP5. Yeah, quick erase, RAW and JPEG erase, or only JPEG erase if you need some space on your SD card. You just can erase only the JPEGs file name. Priority DPI, copyright settings. You have the movie mode, movie effects, wind noise reduction, recording volume, pixel mapping, and touchscreen setting. You see there's still the IFA and Flash Air cards you can use, but you don't have to, because you have the Wi-Fi inside the camera. So let's go back to the setup menu, and here we have the setup menu. There are no new things inside the setup menu. Yeah, so these are the main functions. One new thing with the EP5, Olympus will bring a new viewfinder, a new electronic viewfinder, the number 4. It has a resolution of 2.3 million pixels, so that's a real very, very fine resolution, and it has a nice magnification. So I looked through the new viewfinder, have seen the new viewfinder. It's a very large picture. Compared to a DSLR, it's almost the same size like a DSLR viewfinder, an optical DSLR viewfinder. So it's real nice large picture. You have the eye control, so the display changes automatically between the monitor and the electronic viewfinder, and the time lag is very, very short between the real picture and the picture in the viewfinder. 0.05 seconds, says Olympus. When I looked through the viewfinder, I almost thought there's no lag between it, but it is a lag, but it's so short that you can use the viewfinder for every shooting situation. Even for sports photography, it's fast enough. So that's a very, very nice tool, the new electronic viewfinder, and this makes it a concurrent to the OMD, because the functionality of the EP5 is absolutely the same. It's the same sensor, same speed like the OMD, but it's a little bit more compact. But you have the electronic viewfinder to put on the camera if you need, in bright light. If you need a viewfinder, you can put it on the camera. But if you don't need it, you have a real compact camera. It's a little bit more compact than the OMD. Price is a little bit less than the OMD without a viewfinder. Okay, if you use a viewfinder, it's almost the same price. The only difference, the OMD is dust and water resistant. So the EP5 it's not dust and water resistant. So the OMD is a little bit more rough than the EP5. But I think there are a lot of people will buy the EP5 because of the compactness, a little bit less weight, and the picture quality should be exactly the same, or maybe a little bit better than the OMD. I think the EP5 is a real nice camera. It has a real almost perfect design for me. I think for me the design is absolutely perfect. They have also a wooden grip as a spare part for the camera. Looks very nice. It comes with 2 colors. This one is the silver black, and it comes in a complete black color. And fitting to the black color, Olympus brings out the lenses, the fixed focus, the fixed focal length lenses, like the 17mm and the 12mm. They bring it out in a black design. So you have the choice. If you buy this camera completely black, you can buy the good lenses from Olympus also in complete black. So you have both the black lens and the black camera, or you have the combination like this, silver black camera with a silver lens. So you have the choice, and it's always a good choice, and it's always a good design. I like it very much, and yeah, they have some nice new functions in the EP5. So I'm very interested in doing my test with the final firmware, with the final speed and the final picture quality. So stay tuned. I think in 1 or 2 months, depends on Olympus, I will have the final test. On my internet page, I have a little longer review, only in German, And on my Flickr account, the address is in the information of this video. On my Flickr account there are a lot of pictures of the EP5, also of the old PEN E-P5, so you can see the design of the old PEN E-P5, 50-year-old old PEN E-P5, and the new EP5. So it's very interesting. There are a lot of pictures, also a picture of the new viewfinder. So have a look at my Flickr account. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed my video and hope you get a good look for the new camera. Thanks for watching me. Come back again, and yeah, you will see a lot of new videos in the next few weeks. There are coming a lot of new cameras in the Foto-Bude. So thank you for watching me, and till now I say bye bye and moin moin.